Breaking news right now. President Trump and his legal team are looking to get his historic Manhattan hush money conviction thrown out. So it took a 96-page filing to make that argument, and CBS News got it. It shows that Team Trump wants that conviction dismissed because of a Supreme Court ruling on presidential immunity. They are even calling out the judge who presided over that case for not recusing himself because of a prior donation he made to the Democratic Party. So the president was convicted back in May last year on 34 counts of falsifying business records to cover up payments made to adult film star Stormy Daniels. The president's attorney calls the charges unprecedented and says his team will continue to keep defeating Democrat weaponization at every turn. That is their chosen word. So let's bring in CBS News Justice reporter Jake Rosen, who's watching this filing. Walk us through Team Trump's arguments.
Well, Reed, if those arguments that you just laid out, that the judge, Juan Merchan, who oversaw this case in Manhattan state and local court there, and that there was some kind of immunity given to President Trump, even though he had not officially been in office yet at the time of these alleged hush money payments that President Trump was convicted on, those 34 counts. It's because President Trump and his legal team made these arguments going into that trial, during that trial, and coming out of that trial. It's what we heard from President Trump almost every day in the hallways of that Manhattan courthouse, where he would go to the cameras, as you're watching right now on some of those still pictures, and talk to the press who was waiting there for him every day. It's what his legal team made in front of the judge, that there should have been some kind of immunity in this case and that the judge should have recused himself. That is the grounds that this Trump legal team filing says is grounds for potentially overturning this criminal indictment that makes President Trump a felon. Now, while he was sentenced right before the election to no criminal time served in prison, and it would have been complicated anyway, given that President Trump is currently in office, the label felon still applies to President Trump within the grounds of New York State. That's something that, as you know, obviously irritates him. At the same time, we know that this is just one prong of two that the Trump administration and Trump's legal team are trying to currently do to overturn this. The other, Reed, is asking a federal court to take this case, state court and pull it into that kind of vacuum over there to potentially overturn it on that grounds. They're hoping that one of these two potentially works.
All right, Jake Rosen reporting live. Thank you so much for that analysis.